Oh, it's B-roll time. Okay. 2 minutes left. Okay, cool. Okay. Now back camera. Okay, let's see how it turned out. Ooh, this looks really bad. Let me retake. Okay. Okay, and then let me tag my friends as well. Okay, cool. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is episode 4 of Consumer Case Study, where I'll be doing a deep dive on consumer apps and why they work. As someone with a 300-day streak on this platform, today we'll be doing a deep dive on BeReal. So let's begin. Sometimes it seems that current social media apps are doing everything but connecting us with our friends and family, like the people who actually matter. I'll open my Instagram app. Every other post on the feed is a sponsored ad, a UGC creator promoting skincare products that I don't need. But if you feel this way, you're not alone. In response to this tension between connection and addiction, our founders, Alexis Barayat and Kevin Perot, created BeReal in late 2019. They both saw the problem as authenticity fatigue due to curated, filtered feeds. BeReal's positioning is explicitly anti-big social media. Also, it's interesting to note that this app is actually French, and so it's the first app in this series to be founded overseas. There are a lot of things going on in the BeReal app, but it essentially inverts every incentive you see on traditional social media. Once a day, at a random time, everyone will get a push notification to post, and you have 2 minutes to do so. Both your front and your back camera will go off and show essentially what you're doing, and also you reacting. If you're on time, you will get 6 posts in total for that day, but if you're late, you only get 2, and your post will be labeled with how late you are. The app will even show how many times you retook the picture, and I think it's interesting because in order to see and comment or post a reaction to your friend's posts, you also have to post yourself. So basically, you have to give in order to receive, which manufactures daily participation. Essentially, the app wants you to be real, which is the heart of its name. BeReal's early stage growth is actually super similar to Belly's, which I talked about in my first episode on this series. The app launched on French campuses in 2021 in the form of a paid college ambassador program. In 2022, they also launched in the United Kingdom and the US via a similar ambassador program. They would pay students $30 per referral and $50 per app download and review. And BeReal would also throw campus parties at places like Harvard, where entry was free if you downloaded the app and added 5 friends on it. Unusually, ambassadors would manage their own marketing budget, host parties, and execute their own ideas, but they got paid for it and it worked. The app quickly reached 500k users in France and even more beyond. On top of this, people actually started talking about BeReal on TikTok in 2022 and growth started spiking, and BeReal finished 2022 as iPhone app of the year. And in terms of retention, our 2-minute notification and mutual friend posting tactics are the heavy lifters here. Let's look at the metrics. So reportedly 68% of users will open the app within 3 minutes of the notification. And monthly active users actually peaked in 2022 at 73 million monthly active users. But as of 2026, the app has cooled down a little bit to sit at 40 million monthly active users. For most of its 6-7 year run, BeReal hasn't made any money. It was free, no ads, no subscriptions. The whole thing essentially ran on VC money. A16Z and Excel put in 30 million back in 2021, and then another 60 million in Series B in 2022. And at its peak, BeReal had a valuation around $600 million. But then in 2024, it got acquired. Voodoo is a Paris-based mobile games company. The people behind apps like Helix Jump and Whole.io. I used to play those games a lot back when I was a kid. But Voodoo bought BeReal for 500 million euros. It's around $540 million. One of its founders, Alexis Barayat, stuck around short term, but ultimately Voodoo dropped in its own CEO. That's when money finally entered the picture. BeReal turned on ads in the US in 2025, so in-feed ads, full-day brand takeovers, all using that same dual camera format. They also launched Real Brands, where a brand will post like a regular user inside the same 2-minute window as everyone else. By then, over 200 advertisers had run campaigns. Big names like Nike, Netflix, Amazon. Levi's reportedly said that they got 5 times the engagement they'd get anywhere else on BeReal. As I said before, every app has its weaknesses, and I think BeReal has three that are worth sharing. The first one is constraint. You get up to 6 posts a day. That constraint is also a ceiling. There isn't much reason to really open the app again unless your friends are on the app. And even then, you're not going to be doom scrolling for like hours and hours. Number two is identity dissonance. Their pitch was originally no ads, no influencers, no feed, but the company that owns it now, Voodoo, makes its money on ad-heavy mobile games, and they've talked about growing BeReal to 100 million users and turning on advertising to get there. You've got a brand built on the absence of the exact thing the new owner needs to add. Every other post I see is like a Kalshi or trolley gummy pop ad. I know this is also a source of annoyance for other users in general. The third thing is a closed social graph. Before, you would only see like mutual friends, and if a few of them drifted off, your feed would just go quiet. There's also no non-extreme way to fix this. You can't mute somebody when you see their notifications of, oh, they posted late. It's either unfriend them or block them, which are both very nuclear ways. To the app's credit, they did respond to this. They added a friend of friends feed and also the option to post publicly on a discovery feed. But the problem to that is their answer to "my feed is empty" turned out to be bolting on the exact stuff that BeReal was built to reject, which is strangers, reach, and open feed you scroll. They're stuck between two versions of themselves right now, which is apparent in their ownership change as well. If you made me a PM at BeReal right here, right now, these are three product bets that I see in their future. Number one, I would lean all the way into what I'd call context native advertising. The one ad format that doesn't break BeReal is real brands, which what I was saying before is a brand posting inside the same 2-minute window as everyone else. Instead of selling attention the same way that Instagram does, I would sell participation. The pitch to the brands who would want to advertise on BeReal, it's show up authentically, same as a real person, and it's the only way to make money here that doesn't really kill the thing that people came here for. I can also see influencers doing this for brands to make things seem more authentic, if that makes sense. Number two is to give people more reasons to come back without necessarily adding a scroll. I would keep it more asynchronous and low frequency. So instead of maybe just 1 2-minute window every single day to post a picture, maybe I would add in a second daily prompt that is text-based and forces you to answer a question. Maybe I'd also add like group challenges that are built around a specific moment, but it's ultimately stuff that adds a beat or two into your day without turning the app into something you fall into for an hour and come out feeling like, what was I doing on this app? And number three, I would age the app up before its users age out. So what I mean by that is 78% of BeReal users are currently Gen Z, so in the age range of 18 to 24. That's the cohort that's about to graduate out of college, heading into the workforce. I would bet on real life with the people you actually see, so more like families, couples, small tight friend groups. I think that's a version of BeReal that both allows for new users to join its space, but also survives its users growing up. Ultimately, BeReal didn't invent authenticity, but for a while it turned social media back into the simple thing it started as, just checking in on your friends and family. And that's all today on Consumer Case Study. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this episode and what other consumer apps you'd love to see on the series, but I'll see you guys in episode 5.